Ma'am, you can start. Ma'am, you can start now. Okay. Yes, ma'am. You can start. Okay. Madam, please unmute your mic. First of all, unmute your mic. Okay.
So, very good morning to all of you, and thank you for joining us for this webinar. My name is Megha Sadhu, and I am the host of this webinar. So, main objective of this webinar is to get the knowledge about pharmacovigilance. In recent some year, there are lot of misuses and substandard drugs overwhelmed in market. So, there is our need to regulate the distribution of the drugs and to promote the health of the society. For that, our college arranged this beautiful guest lecture on an overview on pharmacovigilance. For that purpose, our college invited Mr. Rishikesh Deshmukh sir. He is working as a senior manager at Biocon Biologics in Pharmacovigilance unit. Now, this is my pleasure to introduce our expert guest, Mr. Rishikesh Deshmukh sir. He has qualified GPAT and completed his MPharm in pharmaceutics. He followed his vision and to become a to become a researcher. Then he joined in TCS as a senior process associate. After that, he joined as Ciformex Technology Solution as a safety data analyst. After that, he joined at Covance Inc. Limited, Pune as a lead safety associate. Then now he is working in Biocon Biologics as a senior manager associate. We are glad to have you here, sir, and we are very much enthusiastic to learn your knowledge and information about pharmacovigilance. Now, I hand over this session to our beloved Ajay sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Actually, we have organized this webinar for our student to know about the pharmacovigilance because pharmacovigilance is very important in our pharmacy sector because there are we have to vigilance on the new drugs branded or which are coming to the market. For that, I request our guest, Honorable Mr. Rushikesh Deshmukh sir, and his contribution in the field of pharmacovigilance is very huge because he has very much experience in the field of pharmacovigilance from TCS company to the now in Biocon Biologics Limited, Bangalore. So I request Rushikesh Deshmukh sir to please proceed his guest lecture for our student, and I hope our student get a good knowledge and the information about the pharmacovigilance part. Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Ajay. And good morning, all. So, Ajay, sir, please let me know. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible. You can proceed.
Okay. Thanks, Ajay. So, good morning, all. So, our today's topic is an overview on pharmacovigilance. So these are the contents of today's session. We will go through what is definition of pharmacovigilance, then history and need of pharmacovigilance, then different terminology which is used in pharmacovigilance, then type of reports in pharmacovigilance activities, then different modalities which are used to report adverse events in pharmacovigilance, then different type of databases and dictionaries which we use in daily practice during our pharmacovigilance activities. So we will start with the definition of pharmacovigilance. So this term pharmacovigilance. So this term has come from two words. First is pharmakon, which is a Greek word. It means drug. And second word is vigilary, which is a Latin word. And meaning of vigilary is to monitor or keep eye on. So in simple words, pharmacovigilance is nothing but to monitor or keep eye on a drug or medication. So, as per World Health Organization definition of pharmacovigilance is this is the science and activities relating to the detection, assessment, understanding, and prevention of adverse effects or any other medicine or vaccine related problem. So, in simple words, this is we have to detect adverse effect of a medication or vaccine, then we have to assess that adverse effect, then after its assessment we have to understand what is this adverse effect, and the last part of the PV process is prevention of adverse effect, like in which way we can prevent this adverse effect. So this is the standard definition as per WHO. So now history and need of pharmacovigilance. So we will see about historical background and why there is need of pharmacovigilance. So in the year 1848, a 15-year-old patient died after receiving chloroform as anesthetic. So this was a 15-year-old girl from United Kingdom. So she was having a surgery for her toenail infection. So before starting the surgery, her physician administered her chloroform as anesthetic. So, but due to overdose of chloroform, that girl patient died, and this was the first incident which was majorly discussed that medicines also can have side effect. So it was a major incident in the history of pharmacovigilance. Then comes elixir sulfanilamide tragedy. So in United States in 1937 there was one antibiotic called elixir sulfanilamide. So it was brought in market without any studies, and it was directly available in the market as over the counter drug. So people have administered this, but it caused mass poisoning as there were no any safety studies conducted before bringing this drug into the market. So it caused mass poisoning in more than 100 people, and due to this incident, the United States government has passed Food and Drug Administration Act in the year of 1938. So this was also major incidents in the history of pharmacovigilance. Then comes thalidomide tragedy. So many of you have come across these incidents on web or in your textbooks. So this thalidomide was a drug which was prescribed to pregnant women because pregnant women are having morning sickness, nausea, vomiting. So to avoid those morning sickness and nausea, this drug was provided. So this drug was also brought into market without any safety studies. So due to administration of this drug in the pregnant ladies, what happened, around 40% of the infants were died at the time of birth only, and those who were not died at the time of birth, but they were having some congenital anomalies, means they were having some defects from birth itself. So some of them were having only one limb. So in medical terms we called it as phocomelia. So due to this, number of infants were died, and also there were number of children who were born with congenital anomalies. So this was also a major incidence in the history of pharmacovigilance. Then next comes Tuskegee syphilis study. So this was a clinical trial which was conducted for study of syphilis. So for this clinical trial, there were no ethics were followed. Like there are certain rules to conduct a clinical trial, but for this particular study, no ethics were followed. The subjects which were enrolled for this study, they were not aware of the consent form, then which treatment should be given to the subjects. They were not aware of anything. Also, during the studies, here we can see that this study started from 1932 and it lasted till 1972. So, when the study started, there was no any medication available for syphilis, but later there was availability of penicillin to treat syphilis. However, the investigator or the professionals who were conducting this clinical trial, they did not use penicillin, due to which number of subjects multiple number of subjects were died during this clinical trial. So in the year 1972, all this information was leaked in press and this study was stopped. So due to this incidents, there were number of deaths. Then the syphilis was transferred to the wives of those subjects, and also some infants were born with the infection. So due to these incidents, it there was a need of some regulatory body to monitor clinical trials. So it led to creation of IRB, that is Institutional Review Board, which monitors clinical trials which are conducted across the world. So this was about historical background. So due to these major incidences, people were or the healthcare professional were aware of the side effects of a drug, and hence need for pharmacovigilance activity started. So this statement is from one of the conference of who held at Geneva, that dying from a disease is sometimes unavoidable, but dying from an adverse drug reaction is unacceptable. Means we cannot avoid a death due to a disease or medical condition, but death due to a medicine, if it happens, then it is unacceptable. So this statement was given by Dr. Vladimir Lefakin at the WHO conference at Geneva. Then need for pharmacovigilance. Why there is need of pharmacovigilance? So as per the pharmacovigilance activities, we come to know what is risk benefit profile of medication. Means we can assess what are the risk from the medication and what are the benefits of that particular medication. Then to identify previously unrecognized safety information of medication. Means before a drug coming to the market, it goes through clinical trial, and once safety of that drug is assessed in the clinical trial, then only it comes to the market. But what happens in the clinical trial? Clinical trial is conducted on limited number of people, like 100, 200, maximum 1000. But there are less chances that all the side effects we can assess in the clinical trial only. But when the drugs come into the market, it is used across worldwide population. So we have to also monitor, are there any side effects on real world experience also. So we have to check that as well. Then we have to provide information to healthcare professionals and patients to optimize safe and effective use of medicine. So once we come to know what are the side effect of a drug, which adverse reaction can happen due to a drug, so that we can provide that information to healthcare professional. Means here healthcare professional means doctors, pharmacists, nurse, and other professionals. And also we can provide that information to patient, that this medication is having this side effect, and these are the warning, and these precautions should be taken while administration of this drug. Then to improve patient safety and care, then to update relevant safety information of medication. So based on the data from pharmacovigilance, we can update safety relevant documents of a medication that this adverse effect can happen with this drug. So the document which contains all the safety relevant information is called as RSI of medication. So different type of RSI are SMPC, that is summary of product characteristic, then package insert, the product information. So now we will see which are different terms used in pharmacovigilance. So first comes adverse event. So what is adverse event? Which is a untoward medical occurrence in a patient after administration of a drug which does not necessarily have to have a causal relationship with the treatment. Means any event which is occurred after administration of drug irrespective of any causal relationship, that is called as adverse event. Then next term is adverse drug reaction. So the difference between adverse event and adverse drug reaction here is adverse drug reactions means there is causal relationship between adverse event and ad- adverse drug reaction and our suspect drug. Then next is causality. So causality means the relationship, means our company product and the event. If there is any relation, so that is called as causality. Then next is seriousness. So seriousness means whenever patient administers a drug, so after that administration, the patient experience any adverse drug reaction or adverse event which is characterized by hospitalization, death, life threatening, then disability, or there is any congenital malformation, then that event is called as serious event. Then next term is RSI, that is relevant safety information, as we discussed earlier. So relevant safety information, these are the documents which contain all the information about safety profile of a drug. So example of RSI are summary of product characteristic, then package inserts, then investigators browser. So these are different types of RSI. Now expectedness or listedness. So just now we spoke about RSI. So RSI contains all the information about side effects of a drug. So if any adverse effect is present in that RSI, means the relevant document contains any adverse effect, then that is expected for that particular drug or listed. So to check whether adverse effect is known for a drug and it is available in its safety information document, then we called it as expected adverse effect or listed adverse effect. Then next is SUSAR. So this SUSAR is suspected unexpected serious adverse reaction. So suspected means there is a drug which is suspected which cause adverse effect. Then unexpected means that adverse effect is not present in the safety document of that medication. Then serious means it is a serious, like it led to death or life threatening and adverse reaction. It constitutes SUSAR. Then next is ICSR. So ICSR means individual case safety report. So whenever there are side effects are observed, then we have to report those side effects to regulatory bodies. So whenever it consists of a individual patient and that report belongs to an individual patient, we call it as individual case safety report. Then next term is medication errors. So medication errors, they are unintended failure in the drug treatment process that lead to or they have a potential to harm the patient. Yes, medication error can be anything like the drug was administered in incorrect way, if there was any overdose or there was any incomplete dose administered. So all that comes under medication error. Medication errors are unintentional, means healthcare professional or patient is not having any intention which may lead to occurrence of medication error. Then next term is off-label use. So as its name suggests, off-label use means any practice which is followed while administration of a drug which is not as per the label of that medication. So that is called as off-label use. Then other terms which are used in pharmacovigilance are suspect medication, co-suspect medication, concomitant medication, and treatment medication. We will see one by one. So suspect medication, this is the medication due to which adverse effect has been occurred in a patient after its administration. That is called as suspect medication. Then co-suspect medication. So this is the medication which is also having a role in the occurrence of a adverse event along with the suspect medication. So all those medication are called as co-suspect medication. Then next is concomitant medication. These are the medication which are administered along with the suspect and co-suspect medication, but they don't have any role in the occurrence of adverse event. So all those medication are called as concomitant medication. And then last comes treatment medication. Once there is an adverse effect in a patient, and if any medication is administered to treat that adverse event, that is called as treatment medication. So these are the type of medication which are commonly used as terminology in the day-to-day pharmacovigilance activities. Then next, type of reports in pharmacovigilance. So mainly there are two types of reports. First one is solicited reports, and second is unsolicited reports. So now what are the solicited reports? These are organized reports, means there is structured data for these type of reports. Example comes is patient support program, clinical trials, etc. Means there is a certain interventions are there, that is company will follow up with the patient, then clinical trial they will conduct as per the protocol, and as per the requirement they will report adverse events to the pharma companies or regulatory bodies. So all these reports are called as solicited reports. Then next is unsolicited reports. So unsolicited reports are also called as spontaneous reports. As they are spontaneously or voluntarily reported, anyone can report this type of adverse events. Example for these unsolicited reports are cases from literature, then social media, or any spontaneously reported case via call center, fax, email. All those come under unsolicited reports. Now we will see example of different types of reports. So this is a adverse event report from social media. So when I was browsing Facebook, I came across this adverse event reporting, which was posted on Facebook. So here, the patient has posted that after administering Sputnik vaccine, the patient started to have fever. So he has posted that there is adverse effect after administration of Sputnik vaccine. So pharma companies do monitor social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, then any other forums or other social media sites to check whether there are any adverse events are reported for their medication. So this is an example of case reporting from social media. So this screenshot is from Facebook. So we have to also monitor, are there any side effects posted on our for our company drug on social media. The next example is case reports from literature. So, as you all are aware of different pharmaceutical journals or medical terminology related journals, so these research articles also contain information about side effects of medication. Here we can see that the article titled Paracetamol Induced Hepatotoxicity. Here we can see that the authors have written an article with title Paracetamol Induced Hepatotoxicity. It means that there was hepatotoxicity after administration of paracetamol. So this is also one of the source to report adverse events, literature articles. So pharmaceutical manufacturer should monitor each and every literature article for adverse events related to their medications. Then this is example of a report from clinical trial. So whenever a clinical trial is conducted and there are adverse events, so those adverse event need to be submitted in this form, which is called as SAE form, serious adverse event SAE report form. So now we will talk about different modalities used to report adverse events. So adverse event can be reported through these modalities, like telephone. We can call to the safety department of a company and we can report that after administration of your drug, I have this side effect. So we have to inform them via telephone. Then next modality is fax. Also we can send a fax with the adverse event details to the pharmaceutical company or regulatory authority. Then next is email. So we can send an email to the safety department of a company whenever we come across any adverse event after administration of a pharma company drug. Then next is web portal. So if you go through website of any pharmaceutical company, there is one web portal available or there is one section for reporting of adverse event. We have to just fill a normal form, that is a name of drug, then what was the side effect after administration of that drug, and the other details like age and gender of the patient, so that we can report adverse event on the web portal as well. Then last is postal services. Also we can report adverse events via post, speed post, courier. We can report adverse events via postal services. Now, databases used in pharmacovigilance. So now pharma companies, how do they handle these adverse events? So there should be a database to store all these adverse event reports, then reconciliation of those adverse events. So they are using database means that is a software which is used for handling of pharmacovigilance activities. So as of now these are the leading databases available in the market, like Argus Safety, then Aris Global, Aris Your Life Safety, then PVNet, PVWorks, Safety Base Interchange, and Viva Safety. So by using these databases, companies can process the adverse events reported for their medications, and they can assess, and further they can follow up with the patient, and also they can inform to the regulatory authority about their assessment. Now, dictionaries used in pharmacovigilance. So, these are the two major dictionaries which are used in day-to-day activities of pharmacovigilance. So, first one is MEDRA, that is Medical Dictionary for Regulatory Activities. So, this dictionary is used to code adverse effects. So, now what happens whenever a patient report adverse effects, they will report in the common language. But the pharmacovigilance professionals, they have to select or they have to report to the regulatory authority in the scientific or medical language. So to code that term from common language to the in the language of medical science, they use this dictionary. So that is called as Medical Dictionary for Regulatory Activities. So this dictionary, so this is updated twice in a year. So first it is updated in the month of March, that is a major version, and the other version which is updated in the month of September, that is minor version. And the other dictionary is WHO Drug Dictionary. So this dictionary is used to code products like suspect, co-suspects, concomitant and treatment products that we can code with the help of WHO Drug Dictionary. So this is also updated twice in a year, same like that of Metra in the month of March and September. So these are the references for today's session. And thank you. Yes, Ajay sir, over to you.
Thank you very much, sir, for this valuable information you are give to us, and I hope this is very much important, mm, or our students get good information about pharmacovigilance. And if you have any doubts, our college students or any other viewers who have any questions, you can ask in the chat box, so we can answer those questions. Okay, sir, this is the uh, okay. My question for you actually, what is the in the current situation? Many of us, that is a remdesivir injection. There are many fake remdesivir injections in the market. So, what is the role of pharmacovigilance in this, sir? Can you answer this question, please?
So, as a part of pharmacovigilance activities, so along with the terms which we discussed today, so PV department also takes care of the quality complaints related to a product. So, also as per the part of our day-to-day activities, we also check for the lot number and the other labeling details of that product. So, whenever there is any fake product is available in market, so we take care of that scenario as a quality complaint case, and along with the help of quality department of a pharma company. So is there any side effect due to administration of that fake product? Then PB department will take care of safety related aspect, and quality team will take care of that lot number and other details.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Sir, one of the question from Jeet Anjaria. So I am now highlighting this, that what is for freshers in the initiating journey in pharmacovigilance and their growth path for 10 years. The question asked by Jeet Anjaria.
Okay, yes, thank you, Jeet, for the question. So, dear students, now pharmacovigilance. So it is one of the great careers which is available for pharmacy candidates. So you can join this field after your completion of B Farm, or also you can join after completion of M Farm or Pharma D. So after choosing this profession, so what I found that, because during our college days we only had knowledge about what is available in the books, but after joining this field we came across the real world experience, like what are the different adverse effects which can occur due to a medication and its administration. Then recently we can see that there are multiple side effects of the vaccines which are currently available for corona. Many of you have heard that your relatives, your neighbors, they have said that yesterday only I had vaccine and today I am suffering from fever, I have body ache. But in India, what is the thing here? People will not blame medication. Here, people will blame doctor or pharmacy. That is, that doctor is not good. If there is loss of efficacy, that is, if any medication is not working, then people in India or the other developing countries, what we will do, we will blame doctor that this doctor is not prescribing good medication. We will go to another doctor. But the actual thing is, what PV department works, they also work on what is the therapeutic efficacy of a drug. So after joining this field, my thinking about seeing the adverse effect and the administration of drug and the current practice which is followed in our neighboring areas. That thought process of mine changed after joining PV. So you can choose pharmacovigilance as a career, and also there are multiple chances of growth. Like you can gain knowledge about clinical trials, then what are the labeling aspect of a medication. So I would suggest you to choose this career to gain the knowledge on to increase your knowledge about the medications.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for the good answer. Now, the question from our one of the staff: what are the main objective regarding the pharmacovigilance in the market, sir?
Okay, thanks, sir, for the question. So, as we discussed earlier, so the objective of pharmacovigilance, first objective is we have to improve the safety profile of a drug. Then we have to avoid medication error. Also, we have to create awareness among the healthcare professional, also in the patients about the use of medications. Then, based on the data from pharmacovigilance, if there are too many side effects or which are life threatening, then such products can be withdrawn from the market. So overall pharmacovigilance department works on the safety profile of that drug. So these are the objective of pharmacovigilance.
Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Sir, this is the last question. My question is that what is is it any scope for a diploma pharmacy student in the pharmacovigilance? So it means they have any post for diploma pharmacy qualified students. Is it any post, sir?
Yes, for many of the companies, the criteria for eligibility to appear for the interview of the pharmacovigilance professional, they are mentioning the candidate should be registered pharmacist.
Okay, sir.
So, diploma pharmacy candidate can also join pharmacovigilance department in a pharmaceutical company, and they can make their career in the field of pharmacovigilance.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And one of the question from Nihal Sheikh. So I'm showing this question on the screen. The question is, sir, any job opportunity for student to join in safety database preparation in software companies? If yes, then please guide on it. So this is the question from Nihal Sheikh. Sir, if you are, please. Yes.
Yes, thank you, Nihal, for the question. Yes, there are opportunity for a pharmacy graduate to join career in safety database preparation. Means there are different opportunities like validation of the safety database, but along with our core pharmacy knowledge, so the candidate should have additional qualification like SQL. So candidate should be able to run the queries which are required for the operation of database. Yes, there are different certifications are available. So our students can enroll themselves for those certification course, and they can join as a database developer or in the maintenance of the database. So yes, that career is also available for pharma students.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Very nice session. 90 peoples or the 90 our student also there and some guest also there. So thank you very much for their participation in the this nice webinar. And Rushikesh Deshmukh sir actually got COVID positive in yesterday, I think yesterday, but he tried to tell me that at any condition, at anyhow, I can give this session for student, and I'm very much enthusiastic that Rushikesh sir and his information about the pharmacovigilance is very much valuable for the student. Sir, there is one question for the Khandu Bansode, sir. He is one of our staff. Is any government job opportunity in pharmacovigilance? It means he wanted to ask that is it any pharmacovigilance department in the government sector, and there any job opportunity in such a department for pharmacy students, sir?
Yes, yes. There are job opportunity available for pharma graduates. So if we go for the website of CDSCO, so there are vacancies available for the pharma graduates. And yes, both on the contract basis as well. And as per the requirement, they will post a recruitment advertise. There are government jobs are also available for pharma candidates.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Um, I hope all of you get whatever what is required for the our knowledge to get opportunities, any job opportunities, and for the informational purpose. This webinar is give us the knowledge about this various vigilance on the current branded drugs or any generic drugs. Sir, one of the questions from Akash Guru, what are the types of pharmacovigilance, sir? So this is the last question we will take, and after that we will end this session, sir.
So as we discussed earlier, so there are types of pharmacovigilance: active and passive. So active means some active measures are taken towards, like there is some definite structured process or interventions are there to perform pharmacovigilance activities, that is active pharmacovigilance. And the passive, so for passive there are no any interventions, just that activities performed passively. So there are two types of pharmacovigilance: active and passive.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for this best webinar ever had on the pharmacovigilance. Actually, one of your friend, I think Nihal Sheikh, uh, wanted to telling that after COVID positive, Rishikesh sir is conducted this wonderful session. This really dedicated to all of us. Thank you, Nihal sir. Such a dedication from Rishikesh Deshmukh sir. Now I am here to vote of thanks this session after the session. So I first of all thankful to my best friend Rushikesh Deshmukh sir for giving us his valuable time for our college students. And actually he got COVID positive. Also he conducted this session, and thankful to our coordinators, then our principal sir Mahesh Kadare sir for arranging this webinar for our student, because in Marathwada region our there is a actually there is no environment for the pharma student, and our college tried to create such an environment for pharma students, and we introduce them the new fields or the new departments or the any new information related to pharmaceutical sector, so they can get or they should know about the what are the opportunities and scope of pharmacy field in the market. I think this webinar is very helpful for our student. Thank you very much, sir. Now we are stopping or we're now ending this session. Thank you once again. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for giving me opportunity to conduct a session today. Thank you Ajay sir and all the staff of college.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.